spiritual warriors and gangsters, this is for you, the chosen ones. Know that you're the original piece, and all of your haters, they might just keep on following you wherever you go, and they are watching every single thing of what you do. But let me tell you this, they can never ever copy the original recipe because you are connected straight to the divine. Your aura is unique. The devil can try and copy as much as they want to be like you, but there's always going to be difference in the intention, in the aura, within their own true self, because that is who they are, and who you are is absolutely unique and different. So you might see like it's actually a symbolizing example that I can say think of is a hyena trying to be like a lamb just by covering a face of innocence. But just watch, just observe, and at the right moment, they are going to reveal who they are. Because know that a false lie and acting cannot last for too long. People are eventually going to reveal to you who they are. Just wait and watch. This is important to know because as you're on your spiritual path, as you're more aligned with who you are and you're on your own inner journey, it's essential that you guard your energies. And how you can guard your energies is not by trying and controlling others, but rather killing the power that you are giving to the devils, to the enemies outside. You got to just learn how to snap it. And this awareness, just if you are aware of your own self, of your how exactly your thought moves, you give no power to the enemy. And there you are, victorious, without having to utter a word, because you then stay in your own power. And that is how you take away the power of a narcissist. You take away the power of a racist. You take away the power of a bully. And this is how the world is, right? This is not new, and it's not about what color or country you're from. This is a global problem everybody faces throughout the world. So it's a learning, right? Being born on earth, you're actually in a school. So if you think that your life is all about just consumption, that is a very, very lower state of consciousness. And you need to raise yourself up. Because if you live and keep on following the lies of society that tells you keep on hoarding and keep on consuming, you're going to land yourself in a terrible space as you tend to get older. So it's essential that you need to align yourself and stay fearless. Okay? You need to stay fearless because this is a very lonesome path. It's like walking on the edge of a blade. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Not your father, not your mother, not your sister. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You need to walk this path alone. And this is every human that is born on earth. It is everyone's individual, unique journey. And why? Listening to the great masters, listening to Lord Krishna's Gita, listening to Lao Tzu, listening to Nisargadatta Maharaj, listening to Christ and his true original teachings, not the way it has been manipulated into a lot of churches, not like that, the original one, what Christ actually talked of, what Sufi saints have actually talked. And you see, all of these masters, you may call them whatever religion or race or God, whatever. The true teaching is exactly the same thing, that we need to know who we are. And that has got nothing to do with more of hoarding stuffs. And the way the society is designed is you go about dividing people into different countries, nations, religions, sects, color, by their thoughts. In fact, one very interesting book is there, 1984, in which the writer, what a genius, and he's already predicted that going ahead, people who come out of fear, they want to control the wise. And it's always a fool who wants more of a control. A true leader, a true person of wisdom is never ever interested in going about controlling others. They do not have a monitoring spirit. So in the book 1984, it said that gradually there's going to be a time when there would be chips enabled and whatever thoughts you're thinking is going to be monitored. And this is so that you just need to align and you just need to say yes to the system so that you do not have your own voice. You do not have your own intellect. You need to act like the herd, how everybody moves, how everybody nods their head to the song of the devil, and you need to do that. And this all is just an act of control, so that the more control you have, the more sheep like you can become, the more dumber you get, it's easy to control you. And this is how it's happening now, and this is what has also happened in the past. And though at certain from a certain level, you do have a choice to do the right thing. And this is not going to be easy, but know that the other side also, like if you tend to act dumb and act out of ignorance, hang out with foolish people and tag them as your friends and get together just to bring down the the righteous one, that's also not going to help, because you are going to feel terribly cheated, and you are cheating your own self. And that's a whole lot of bullshit that one can do into their own life. So, what is essential is every single day you stay aware, you stay woke in your waking hours, and also watch through in your dreams. Because who is it that was actually dreaming? And it's so strange. Dream happens, and you have no control over your dreams. So last night I slept, and I saw three dreams, and I slept really long. I think 11 hours. Three different dreams, which I can only recollect in my waking hours. So the moment I woke up and I wrote down my dreams. But then, this is the thing, like while you're still in the bed and you are not completely out, you tend to think that you are living that moment. And it's a strange thing, because in your dream you feel like you're so much there, it's so real. All of the environment, all of your surrounding, everything is so real, just like your now state, like in the present moment. But watch how, once the moment is gone, like even a thing of yesterday, or a thing of just a moment that you spent in the afternoon at the beach, or shopping things and stuffs, or whatever thing that you did, all of that is exactly a dream. So our life is a dream. And though this just feels so much strange, because at that moment you think that I can always, no, it's not a dream, it looks so real. I have a whole sense of it. But if you see, there's not much difference in your waking and in your dream state. Because even in your dream state, you have hunger, you have anger, and all of that is exactly the same replica of how you feel in your waking state. But the I that actually dreams, and the I that is actually living this life through this body, is what we do not know. This has been just created. Your body is not you. Your body is a dead matter. And you know that because when a person dies, they are just taken to the graveyard, because the thing that brought about the aliveness within that body, that thing has left. Even if you do the self inquiry by your breath, so Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a Thai monk, enlightened monk, he talks about this breath awareness. So just being aware of our incoming breath and the outgoing breath, that tends to quieten the mind. Because at one time, either you can have the awareness of your breath, or you can have the thoughts running in your mind. Two at the same time is not possible. So if you're thinking of an apple, at that moment, your mind is on apple and the breath is automatic, it's in the background. But when you put your awareness on your breath, then you cannot have the thought of an apple. And same thing is with your sight and sound. So when you are seeing something, and if you're fully being aware and you're putting your consciousness, all of your concentration on a thing or that you're seeing actually, at that point in time, if somebody is talking something in the background, you would not be able to decipher that. So if somebody is asking you a question while you are focusing on looking at something, your attention is absolutely on the thing, on the object of vision. Or for example, if you are listening something, your whole attention is on the object of listening. So if somebody asks you, did you see that kite flying in the sky? And you will say, no, I was listening that. Because at a time, your awareness, consciousness can do one thing. Though there are masters and there are yogis who can channel their awareness into multiple layers, multiple stems of awareness, but that comes with very high level of intellect. And that intellect is actually the more you dissolve your sense of I, the stronger and the sharper your intellect can get. But the stronger you have a sense of your ego, the dimmer it gets, because now it's like you are coming on your own way to ascension. And that's why it's so essential to work on our own observance of the mind. That's what Jiddu Krishnamurti said beautifully about the way to solve a problem is actually not by going to any of the master, but the most essential thing is that you just watch, you just observe. And that's our job. And then as you observe, you'll find there's a lot of resistance that comes up. So somebody passed a nasty comment to you, or somebody made fun of you, and you feel that there's something being triggered and that energy is very unpleasant. You don't want to sit with that energy. But this is the experiment. This is your task. You must sit with that. Your mind will tell you, just go and fight. You must stop that urge and just watch what happens. Because your mind is too quick to give you directions that do this if they do that, do this if this is the situation I'm going to run into that, and all of that logical scenarios. But since at this point in time you just want to observe your own mind, just watch how that energy comes, because your action is actually the tree, the it's the whole fruition of that energy, that unpleasant awareness that you had, and you just felt, oh, I do not like it, and so I must do XYZ in response to this thing, this event. So there's a cause and then there's a effect to that. So what Krishnamurti's experiment talks about is that you just need to watch it. And when the unpleasant moments arise, you watch that too. And you can even put a question, to whom does it arise? So then you go back to the question, I. And in fact, all of the problem of the universe, no matter of what kind, is exactly because of this question of duality. Because there is two. And the solution everybody seeks is one. No matter whether your goals are to be world's best chess player, or world's best artist, or world's richest man, no matter whatever your material goals are, or whatever your spiritual goals are, you want to be in Krishna consciousness 24/7. You want to self realize, you want to meet God, you want to know yourself. It does not matter. Both of these paths are going to lead you to the same thing, be it a material goal or a spiritual goal. Though they appear like the two, but in the deeper sense, as you start walking on that path, you would arrive at the same endpoint, and that endpoint is your disappearance of I. So, the small I with which I live into this world, how I communicate, how I move about, how I do my daily activities, that tends to disappear. And that does not mean that you're just a fool or you're a puppet. At that point, your action is spontaneous. You act because the supreme intelligence acts through you. And your small logical mind is no more in the way that says, oh, but I do not know this, and how am I supposed to understand that? See, because I don't know this and that, and there's a lot of logic. Basically, those logics are limitations. All of those things are limitations that your mind tells you. And why that mind tells you that is because of your conditioning, because you were raised in a school or in a family or in a society which tells you, well, society never tells you you're enough. Society is never going to tell you that you're great. They are always going to laugh at you, especially if you are a wise one, and especially if you are taking not a path traversed very often by others. If you are taking to your own self, of course, you should take this by default that you're going to face lots of resistance. But you should not detour from that just because of the fear of resistance, just because of not being validated, because that's not why you're here for. You're not born on planet to be validated by others. You're here to know who you are. And your path might be whatever. Your path might be a material goal or it might be a spiritual goal. That does not matter. What matters is your sincerity. What matters is your intention. What matters is how truthful are you to yourself. That you do not just go around wasting your time talking uh, gossip and you do not have any other thing to do. And why this is essential? Because no matter how much amount of pleasure you think can keep you happy, it's very short lived. That good food that you ate in the restaurant, that meeting with a friend, everything looks very wholesome from far. But the moment you have just had that, now you tend to see that you do not relish it so much. Now it has lost that juice. You want something more. And this is the nature of the mind. It's a never-ending chase. And also the nature of the mind is if your desires are not met, you feel terrible. As if having met that desire, you're going to stop. It's a never-ending thing. It would never stop. So what they said, we are not going to try and stop our desire. We are just going to observe the rise and fall of the desire. We are going to observe how we react when we achieve something and when we fail at something. Because technically we are in a world where success is uh, so much applauded and failure is seen as such a bad thing. However, no person ever got successful without failing innumerable amount of times. So the people who are laughing at you, they are not even trying. So do not belittle yourself or stop yourself because of the people who are laughing at you. They do not even have the courage to start the journey within because it's so scary. It scares people out because it's a lonesome path. And if you can do that, you're already great. And you need no validation from no one because your life is a living truth. You live in love with the truth. And that truth flourishes you. That truth is exactly what gives you power, courage, strength, beauty, honor, dignity, all of that. So be with it because that's never going to leave you. Bye for now.